Once I started doing this exact morning routine, my whole life changed. I make more money, have more friends, more confidence, and I'm in the best shape of my life. So in this video, I'm super excited to share my step-by-step morning routine that helped me change my life and hopefully make it super easy for you to follow so you can start implementing these strategies today and start seeing improvements in your life by tomorrow. Okay, first step of the morning routine, I do not use my phone as my alarm clock. Instead, what I recommend is a traditional alarm clock, one that you actually have to get up, get out of bed, and go physically turn off and have it across the room. Also across the room should be your phone. This removes all temptation and kind of that habitual just morning checking your phone, starting to scroll, and before you know it, you're putting too much stimulus in your brain about things that are stressing you out or just reminding you of the past. So whether you're going through some personal problems, whether you're reading stressful work emails, you're scrolling through Instagram and you're getting jealous of things that you're seeing that early in the morning, it's terrible to start your morning that way. You're already putting yourself at a disadvantage because you're not only living in the past, but you also are causing your body and your brain to produce the stress chemicals that are making you feel like crap first thing. Like this is within a few seconds of just scrolling. You're gonna get up out of bed, immediately turn on the lights. When you turn your lights on right away, those bright lights are signaling to your brain that it's time to wake up, it's time to start your circadian rhythm, time to, get started with your day. It's morning time. It's mimicking the sunlight. But you're going to walk over, turn off the alarm, and at this point, do not check your phone and do not worry about it. Act like it's not there. At first, this is going to be really hard because you are probably in a habit, like most people, of scrolling, checking your phone right away when you wake up. You feel like you're missing out on something. But in reality, you're so used to having this thing stuck to your hip 24/7, and it's actually not as important as you think. Your body and your brain is just used to checking it constantly throughout the day. So we're gonna focus on eliminating that habit as your first step. So I get up pretty early. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in the 5 a.m. club because I don't get up at that time, and I also don't stress about getting up that early. I do focus on sleep, so getting anywhere between 7 to 9 hours. My sweet spot is more like 7 to 8 max. Once I get past 8, I feel too groggy. Even at 8 sometimes I feel a little bit groggy and it takes me a little bit to get going. Some people feel amazing with 9, 10, 11 hours. But for me, 7 to 8 is a really good sweet spot. And I like to wake up anywhere between 6 and 7 a.m. That to me feels early enough to have a very long, productive day without having to go to bed so early to get my 7 to 8 hours that I'm like stressed about it or can't sleep. So it's just what works best for me. So big practical tip for you in this first step is to just set your alarm in increments of 15 minutes earlier than the day prior each day. So if you usually wake up at 9 a.m. and you're trying to get up a little bit earlier, set an alarm for 8:45. The next day, set an alarm for 8:30. Then the next day, set up your alarm at 8:15 and then 8 a.m. all the way until you have your ideal wake up time. And this is going to be much more gradual. Your body and your brain are going to get much more used to this and you'll actually wake up at those times. Before you know it, your sleep and your rising schedule are going to be in sync and you're going to be waking up early feeling great. Drinking water first thing in the morning, especially a large glass, kickstarts your metabolism, flushes out toxin, and rehydrates your cells. What an amazing way to start your day, and I want you to think, how often right now are you waking up and prioritizing hydration? It's really a simple habit with so many benefits. Remember, we are mostly made up of water as humans. So really, it makes sense and it's very simple that we want to replenish any water we've lost throughout the night just through sleep and sweating, and start your day off on the right foot, fully hydrated. Next, I focus on time to myself. This is how I really center myself, kind of gather my intentions for the day, and feel like I didn't just get into a rushed routine, got out the door and started working. This is a non-negotiable for me. I feel much more centered after this. I like to prioritize this time and not make it feel rushed. These are 5 main things that I focus on in the same section of my morning routine. They are affirmations, gratitude, prayer, meditation, and breath work. It can sound like a lot, but really when you're in the flow of things, you can get through these things pretty fast, sometimes in minutes, and it really doesn't take that long, but it is probably the most important thing that's completely changed my life. When I center myself in the morning, I feel like nothing can beat me, nothing can stop me. I'm a force to be reckoned with. It's just going to be an amazing day. I feel much more positive. I feel like more of like a light, like an energy and an aura radiating off of me. I'm just excited to go throughout my day. I've noticed when I don't do all of these practices, or I even just miss one of them, my day feels off in some little way, or sometimes even a massive way. Affirmations kind of help me start a positive tone of the day. So anything where I'm either vocally saying affirmations like, I'm going to have a great day, I am financially abundant, things like that out loud, that's fantastic. But some of my favorite ways to practice affirmation are actually to either watch a YouTube video or just listen to it, or I have a saved Spotify playlist with a bunch of affirmations where a voice actually repeats it, and it's more you listening to it and internalizing it inside. And I've noticed great changes from that. Gratitude is just a life changer. It reminds me of all of the amazing things I have in my life right now and how thankful I should be for even the smallest things. So a practice I like to do with gratitude is just whip out my journal and start writing things I'm grateful for. I do not put a limit or a minimum of how many things I need to write. When you start doing it this way, your pen will just start to flow because you're going to start thinking of all these things you have to be grateful for. The roof over your head, the electricity, the food in your fridge, your family, maybe the job you have, the fact that it's putting bread on the table, it's bringing in income. Maybe it's not your dream job, but you're grateful that you're not homeless sleeping on the streets. The breath in your lungs, the fact that you get to go work out today. Like so many things every single day to be grateful for. Every day is an opportunity to be grateful for everything you currently have. And that abundance mindset, that thankful gratitude mindset, when I'm feeling just so incredibly grateful for my life right now, even when I'm going through hard times, you can just find the little things, makes you feel so much better, makes your heart feel more full, you're more at peace, and great things seem to just find you or gravitate towards you. So opportunities, relationships, they just find you because you are putting out a positive, grateful energy. Do not skip this step. This is massive. So breath work really helps me control my body, my nervous system, settle down, especially on those mornings where you wake up and you have a big task list, or you're really stressed with work, or you're really stressed with school. Breath work can really regulate your nervous system, calm you down, and remind you that you're truly in control of your body and your brain, and they're connected. So breathwork's an interesting one, especially if you've never done it before. It can seem all like hippy-dippy and weird. It's actually super simple. You can follow a lot of videos online. I'll link one in the description that I really like. And then you can just go down the rabbit hole just like I did and finding different 5, 10, 15-minute breathwork videos to follow where you can just close your eyes, throw in some headphones, and copy exactly what they're saying. It's usually simply breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. After that, it gets a little bit more complex. But just breathing and being conscious of your breathing is a game changer. So along with my breathwork, I also do meditation, but sometimes they kind of like cross over and blend together where I just do them at the same time essentially. But really the meditation is anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes or so. I also listen to YouTube recordings and Spotify playlists that I've saved over time. Joe Dispenza is amazing. If you're just getting into meditation, I recommend looking into Joe Dispenza and just listen to his free YouTube videos. They're all over the place and they're an amazing place to start. There's really just countless sources out there. There's amazing videos and audios to listen to. So for meditation though, it's not always about listening to something. What I really like to do is just sit in silence, and you'll notice that sitting there you're going to have all these emotions come up. Your brain is going to be telling you, stand up, stand up, stand up. Like, you're busy, you got it, you can't just be sitting here. It's an amazing control for even a few minutes a day, just to sit in silence, control your mind. And a huge tip that I have just for getting started in meditation is, when you're sitting there, you're going to have all these thoughts that come in your mind, some things that have hurt you in the past, things you're dealing with right now, stressors, anxieties, things like that. But they're just thoughts, and they always pass. You have millions of them a day. So instead of getting attached to your thought, just picture it like a cloud that moves by from one side of your brain to the other until it pops out your ear and fades away. That's an amazing visual I like to have, where I just close my eyes. I kind of remove myself from the thought. I detach myself from it. Instead of feeling it, I look at it and I just let it pass. Whether it's positive, negative, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to put a label on it. I just notice it, watch it go by, and watch it leave. And then try to have a stillness between thoughts is ideal, where you're just so still that you're not necessarily thinking and your brain isn't going in hyperdrive, probably like it usually is through the day. So this quiet time first thing in the morning is amazing. Meditation has truly changed my life, make me feel more centered, and when things happen throughout the day, I feel like I was already prepared for it. I've had my quiet time to myself, and just meditation, it just helps in so many ways throughout the day. Last but definitely not least, prayer. Whether you're super religious or you believe in God or you believe in the universe, prayer is amazing. I personally believe in God, and the things that have changed in my life when I just make sure I have a window of time throughout the day, but morning is great, but the more you can do it throughout the day, even better. It makes you feel more centered with the one that created you, the reason you're here, trying to find your purpose. Also kind of just setting your intentions for the day, whether you're praying for something, praying for guidance, praying for wisdom, praying for peace, praying to not see that person that annoys you at the office. There's so many things, and actually outwardly praying about them instead of just like wishing or hoping is a whole nother level of faith. Peace will come over you when you pray about things and you let them go and know that someone else is taking control of them for you. And for me, it just really sets my day off on the right foot. So I feel like I don't have to control every little thing. God's got my back. All right, at this point, I'm about 15 to 25 minutes into my morning routine. It's time to get outside and get some sunlight in the eyes and on the skin. Getting sunlight in the morning is just incredibly important. It helps regulate your circadian rhythm, it improves your mood, it makes you more awake and alert in the morning, which is key right now for this morning routine and having high energy and productivity, but it also boosts your vitamin D production, and you're actually getting it from the source itself, the sun, not just having to only take vitamin D supplements. I take 5 to 10 minutes just chilling in the sun, soaking it up. One thing to make sure you don't do is not to necessarily stare directly into the sun. In these early morning hours, especially when you wake up basically as the sun's rising, it's not as intense and not as damaging to your eyes, but staring into it isn't really something anybody really recommends. So what I like to do is stare up right next to the sun and like the direction it's coming, stare off to the side, and I will take glances over fresh, like eyes directly onto the sun itself, and then just look away. But being out there, having the rays on you, it's perfect. Your body knows that you're awake, you're outside, the sun is rising, you're supposed to be awake right now, and it's gonna help you get tired later when the sun starts to fall. So if you think about it that way, sun's rising, you're rising, sun's falling, now it's nighttime, and you're falling, going to sleep. A little thing I do when I do go outside, unless I'm in a city environment or not in like my own yard, I will take off my shoes and kind of do a little bit of grounding, put your feet right on the grass, breathing in fresh air. I mean, first thing in the morning, it's nothing better than just being outside, especially on a nice day, clear skies, just appreciating the amazing day that you have ahead of you, the weather you have, the fresh air that you get to breathe. Kind of goes hand in hand with the gratitude that I mentioned earlier. You have just such a good feeling in your heart to start the day and makes you feel so positive. So it's a great place to go. A couple practical tips when it comes to this, just because everybody's different, and with how much time you have for your morning routine and everything like this, you can actually combine a couple things. So you can combine going outside with the step before this, like gratitude and affirmations and all that. You can kill 2 birds, 3 birds, 4 birds with 1 stone whenever you go outside. Maybe that's where you do a little meditation right there in the sunlight, do a little prayer, a little bit of breath work. If you do any of those things while you're outside, it's gonna enhance the experience and kill a lot of birds with 1 stone. Also, the second practical tip for this is just to remember to get out there within the first hour of waking, as early as possible. Some people like to wake up and just walk straight outside. I don't really trip if it's 20 to 30 minutes after I wake up, which in this current morning routine is where I feel the best. It allows me to prioritize what I want to prioritize before I actually step outside, and it's not too late. So within the first hour of the sun rising, so sometimes that's going to be 5:30 a.m., 6:30 a.m., depending what time and area of the world you're in. But trying to match that and get outside within the first hour of the sun actually rising is very powerful. It's when the sun rays are most powerful and will have the most influence on actually setting your circadian rhythm. All right, at this point, I come back inside and it's one of my favorite parts of my morning routine. It's time for the coffee. Specifically in my morning routine, I absolutely thrive on Bulletproof Coffee. If you haven't heard of it before, this coffee is blended with grass-fed butter and MCT oil, which is going to give you a steady boost of energy without the crash. So instead of spiking, your body is actually getting energy throughout the day and avoiding the crash, because the MCT oil along with the grass-fed butter mixed with the coffee allow the coffee to digest a bit slower. It's going to keep you full and focused for hours. It honestly gets me so laser locked in, and I feel the difference so much more than just having a normal cup of coffee or espresso or something. But actually having this blend of the Bulletproof concoction is such a game changer. The healthy fats in the grass-fed butter and the MCT oil are going to help you lock in, focus for way longer, not have that kind of like crash within a couple hours of a work session or a couple hours later after drinking coffee. It is keeping you locked in over time, very focused, helping kind of improve that mood and your cognitive function. So highly recommend Bulletproof Coffee. This isn't a paid ad, but I do drink it so much that I do have an affiliate code that will save you money if you use it. It's here in the description. Just go click it, check out their stuff. If it's for you and you use my affiliate code, I appreciate you and it'll save you some money. I find that for me, my most productive window of times during the day are within the first few hours of waking up. So now that I feel like I got my body and mind in check, I got my coffee, I got the highest level of energy and focus I'm gonna have, I prioritize my tasks accordingly and just work on the most pressing issues and goals that I have to get done for the day. So at this point, I give myself about 2 to 4 hours of really focused in-flow work. And by the end of that session, I feel like I've gotten the majority of my work done for the day because it's my top priorities and my major tasks. And I'm just feeling good, productive, and like I'm crushing what needs to be crushed. A couple tips that will help you be even more prepared for this section of the morning routine is to create a to-do list the night before and just have it on your work desk. So you're not wasting any time at this point in the morning writing down your to-dos and taking 5, 10, 15, who knows how long it'll take you to think of all the pressing issues you have and your main goals for the day. Instead, you already have them lined out the night before, and if anything does come up and you need to add it, that's just a quick add, but it doesn't waste any of your time. So I like using the Pomodoro technique. It's basically a time management method where you have 25-minute stretches of focused grind work broken by 5-minute breaks. So a good example of how this would work is you work for 25 minutes, take a short break of 5 minutes, then you're gonna go 25 minutes again, another short break, 25 minutes, short break, and then 25 again. That's gonna be your fourth interval of 25. And then you're gonna have a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. I don't always stick to this. There are some days where I can just go a straight hour depending on the tasks I'm working on, and I don't really need these breaks, and I'm not necessarily having a lack of focus or a need for these little breaks. But there are some days where using this technique really helps my productivity. So I highly recommend to look into it and to give it a shot. This really helps with schoolwork as well, whether it's studying for an exam or actually, writing up a report. When you separate it this way, it kind of gamifies it a little bit, makes it a little bit fun, like you're looking forward to a little break. Just make sure that in those 5 to 10 minute breaks that you do take, you are actually taking a mental break. You're not just thinking about, oh, this time's gonna end and I got 25 minutes coming up. Take a break, get something to drink, get something to eat, maybe walk around the block, do something that isn't what the work was that you were just doing. At this point, it's about mid-morning and it's time to eat. So I've got my grind, focus work finished. Feel like I've stacked up a few wins in this early morning. And now it's time to eat for fuel so that I have enough sustained energy for the rest of my day. I focus on whole, unprocessed foods that give me a sustained energy throughout the day and just make me feel great. Eating well and eating healthy is crucial for maintaining my energy levels and keeping my mind sharp. Not only that, but I do have fitness goals and general health goals that food is basically 90% of the battle of and helps me perform better in the gym and other activities that I do. A tip for you to go along with this, my meals really focus on high protein, high fats, especially this meal in particular. It is the first meal of my day. I've had my Bulletproof Coffee, but now it's time to fuel my body. I feel the absolute best when I have a very high protein, very high healthy fats meal at this point in my morning. So my ideal meal, and one I basically have every single morning, is a meal with eggs, organic grass-fed beef, and avocado. The nutrients from this provide long-lasting energy and help you just feel full and satiated through this morning time. And the focus in the high protein is fueling your muscles, especially if you're someone who's focused on your fitness and have certain goals in the gym. This meal and meals like this are so helpful. What I want you to avoid at this point, and I highly recommend it, is just get away from processed foods and actually get away from like the breads and the grains in the morning. So a good example, a lot of people like to think that toast is healthy. Sourdough bread is probably the healthiest option of them all, and I definitely eat it, but first thing in the morning, I avoid it. Bread and other carbs are gonna make you feel pretty sluggish in the morning. You're not gonna have the same energy that the proteins and the high healthy fat foods are gonna give you. However, I do really like things like berries and some other fruit to start the morning, drizzle some honey on it. So good. And last but not least, the part of my morning routine that I look forward to the most, going to the gym and getting my workout in. Doing your workout earlier in the day has multiple benefits, like it improves your mood because physical activity releases endorphins, which are natural mood enhancers. Starting the day with exercise can leave you feeling more positive, energized, and overall just less stressed. It also enhances your focus and productivity because remember, this is just your morning. You want to be more focused and productive leading into your afternoon and your evening as well. So a morning workout can increase blood flow to the brain, which may improve focus, alertness, and cognitive performance throughout your day. But for me personally, I need to get my workout in because of the sense of accomplishment it gives me. It means I've already accomplished my 3 key wins for the day: mental, spiritual, and now a physical win. The gym is a great physical win, but remember, a workout can be different for you. Whether that's biking, swimming, running, yoga, it doesn't matter. Just get out there, get your blood flowing, and move your body. And that is the morning routine that has completely changed my life. It primes me to have a great day every day. It boosts my confidence. It makes me just more productive and just overall happier. Your routine is something you do have control over, so I want you to start prioritizing it today and start the journey to becoming the best version of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.